haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
You know, Justin, we're doing this podcast. It's a very intense situation, and I can't fucking trust you, and that's a fucking problem. I'm Eddie Collins.
What the? I was like, why does nigga holler at me? Guys, this is Justin Brown.
We're Media Popcorn Spoiler Movies, and you know that because you heard the beautiful theme song, and you saw the title, baby. You know what we spoiling. We're spoiling The Rip, the directed and written Joe Carnahan crime thriller starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Stephen Yeun, Tiana Taylor. That's a lot of Oscar-nominated people. Sasha Calle, Catalina Cedina Marino, who's coming back, and I love it. And Kyle Chandler, Coach Taylor himself, who I never buy Kyle Chandler as a bad guy. I just can't do it. I mean, he's got the smarmy kind of like I could be an asshole thing, but I'm always gonna see him as Coach Taylor. I just can't. You know what I mean? It's hard.
Yes.
Like it's different than Landry. It's different than what Jesse Plemons did, where he went from Landry to playing Todd on Breaking Bad, and you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. Like but he's very versatile. Kyle Chandler is best when he's like the reliable white guy that you can lean on. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that's why he plays a good villain. Wait, did you watch Bloodline?
I only watched the first season.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's the brother, right? But the whole family was shady though. From what I
but he's a good brother. But he has some shady shit to him too.
That's right. I should rewatch that. I remember liking the first season a lot.
My good friend's cousin is actually the AD on that.
Oh, okay. You mean was?
Yeah, so watching it, it'll actually put a little something into his pocket. He needs it.
Well, that's the question, right? It's like, well, the Netflix, because this is the first film that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did under their artist equity movie with a first of its kind deal with Netflix that provide the workers involved with the production of the film with a bonus if it performed well on the streaming platforms. That's why you saw Ben and Matt every fucking where promoting this movie. And it doesn't hurt that they have great chemistry. They're longtime friends and stuff. Like, when UB and I saw The Accountant 2 at South by Southwest, Matt Damon had flown in from the set of The Odyssey to support Ben Affleck on that. That's how cool they are. Yeah, I was like, damn, that's a good friend. And so they had negotiated this deal with Netflix. And we'll talk about some of the comments that Matt Damon made about Netflix and what they ask of their creatives, or at least asked of them, which did Netflix try to dispute. But we're like, Netflix did that shit. Matt Damon does not hold his tongue, which has gotten him in some trouble, especially with like the Black community. I'm talking about Project Greenlight, folks. I don't want to harbor on it, but if you go to Project Greenlight season 3, a lot of problematic things happen on that season. I mean, every season Project Greenlight's a shit show, but season 3 especially was egregious. Season 4 is equally as bad for tragic, different reasons. Anyways, so The Rip, had you seen this when it first came out on Netflix? Because it was a huge hit on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched this when it first came out.
Okay,
so
what were your initial
rewatching it
thoughts?
again, and I was like, I'm just like, all right. I initially when I first watched, I'm just like, all right. I mean, that was a good flick. I enjoyed it, but I also questioned the rewatchability of it. But then rewatching it last night, I was just like, I mean, it's solid, but this is definitely a movie that I could see myself just putting on in the background and not really paying much attention to it.
Yeah, this has a throwback TNT movie of the week vibe. You know what I mean? Not like a movie of the week, but like, when TNT used to have like those classic action movies and shit where you just could put it on like The Fugitive and like walk around and bullshit and like you pop in like, oh yeah, I love this scene, or yeah, that's a cool moment, whatever. The only issue is I don't think this movie has any classic scenes besides like the Matt and Ben arguments. It's like those like intense scenes because like they have so much chemistry that you feel that palpable tension, right? But I don't know. Like rewatching this, like I kind of agree with you about like I question what rewatchability of this because there was parts where I was like, oh yeah, this drags on for a while. Like when we get to the final twist, which was pretty obvious, like especially with Kyle Chandler, it's like they spend like an extra minute or so like dragging that out. It's like we know he's the guy. Like let's just cut to the chase. Let's get to the fucking. And then the fight scene between Stephen Yeun and Matt Damon went on way too long. Like,
well, I also think
that fight was just wild.
The big problem with this, and I think the big problem that we find you're going to find with a lot of Hollywood films these days is they're not using practical stunts or like even practical sequences and things like that. In the case of just well, at least they're not shot practically. So
Mm.
everything is shot so you can't see. So it's like to let the stuntmen do their thing and whatnot, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it was very dark. So you really, and there are points where you really couldn't tell who has the upper hand. So like there really is, you don't have, you're not really, you don't really have any stock in that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because you're just like, I don't know who the fuck is winning this shit. But even like some of the gunfights, like when they get ambushed by, cartel members or it was most likely other cops or whatever. When that went down, you never even saw who they were. Everything was in shadows. You saw flashes here. Da 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 da. So it's just like everything just seemed to be like, oh man, that was crazy. What next? There was no acting or there was no acting or like putting like a face to it, and not even just having a face, but like a figure. It's like this is a problem in this space right now. Everything seemed low stakes because when you don't show anybody and it's just flashes from the shadows and then them flashing from their with their guns, I think that it kind of just takes away from the humanity of the scene. And it's just like, okay, this is just this weird part. It's like, oh no, how do I know that there's something coming? Because all of a sudden the sound goes through the fucking roof. And then either I have to turn my TV down. Then once the gunfight's over, then I'm able to turn it back up again so I can hear dialogue. And like, I think that's the kind of thing, especially if you're watching at home, that kind of takes you out of fucking films.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And the weird thing with this movie is a lot of strong actors that sometimes give some weird or weak performances. And it's just like, I don't know if they even didn't have much rehearsal time. Like, I thought like the chemistry between the big crew, like, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Stephen Yeun, Tiana Taylor, and Catalina Marino was like real. It felt really forced at times.
Yeah.
Like when they're interacting with each other, it's kind of like, it's like, all right, you say that line, then I say this line, but there was no real camaraderie. It's set for Ben and Matt, right? Like, and obviously they have the most scenes together, but and then the female characters, the female officers are literally sidelined in the third act. They're literally left behind. Which is wild.
They're counting money. This is the entire movie.
Yeah, it's so weird. And also, I thought she was fine as Supergirl in the Flash movie. And I've seen Sasha Calle in a few other things. I think she's a very beautiful actress, but I do not think she's a good actress.
Fair.
She plays Desi. I didn't believe any of her scenes, man. And she's a big part of the story. When they go to raid the house, she's the one that's like watching the house that is owned by her grandmother, but then like she's in probate, so technically she's not the owner. So if they seize the stuff, she can't be held liable for it. But she does get a 20% reward from of the money, which is like tens of millions of dollars, which is wild.
Yeah.
And then to the thing you said about stakes, except for the bad guys, well, I mean, Velez. So this all kicks off with the Captain Jackie Velez of the Miami-Dade Police Department and Tactical Narcotics Team. She gets assassinated right before she sends a mysterious text about cartel money at this house, and then she throws her phone into the water, right? After she sends it from a burner phone. And she is executed because these niggas that shoot her got shotguns.
Oh.
Those were shotguns, right?
Well, one had a shotgun. The other one had had like a machine gun.
And I'm like, yo, like, I feel like it's so much more, I don't want to say, but it's always violent. Gun violence is violence, right? But I feel like when you use a shotgun to kill somebody, that's like, you're sending a message. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gonna die.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like, obviously someone's going to die anyway if they get shot with a bullet, but like you shoot a handgun, the bullet, it's like a small hole, bleeds, cause internal bleeding, blah, blah, blah. You shoot a shotgun at somebody, their face or their body, there's a hole that's going to be blowing them up, you know what I mean? Or a limb that's blown off.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's so much more grotesque.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, I guess if you're, and especially when you're doing it like close range, like she
Yeah.
went out close range. It's like,
You're
it's
mutilating
over.
bodies. You like can't have an open casket funeral when you got shot up with a shotgun like that and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Well,
somebody's
there's
baby.
also because she's an officer,
Yeah.
they have to just, assume that she may have a vest on. So they got to go for the head. There may not
Well,
be
that was
anything for that.
that was my question. And folks, we're gonna. I don't want to jump around too much, but I did have a question for you, Justin. What do you think was Kyle Chandler, who's part of the DEA, right? He's a DEA agent with his own like
Mhm.
tactical team. What was their end game? Or did they just feel like no one was ever going to find out who killed Velez? It was just going to be like an open question because they were already going to shut down the TNT anyway. So it was going to probably be like, hey, yeah, we lost a fucking cop and like we just can't figure out who did it. Or were they going
Yeah.
to try to plan it on somebody? I was just like, where's this going?
I don't. I think that like she getting too close, so they had to get her up out of here. But like they were just gonna go get that money regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, but if she's standing between them and the money, they have to get rid of her. Now, so then they don't have to worry about things getting
Well,
bigger.
Well, so the whole thing was so the tactical narcotics team. What they do is they seize money. They're like raids and stuff like that. And so it's this, which is a very honorable job because I'm like, yo, if I'm tasked with like breaking into houses and there's just a plethora of drugs, of like wrapped bricks of cash. Like,
One's
I'm
gonna go
sorry.
into the bushes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
I cannot be trusted.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Sticky Figures. You're gonna call me Brandon Sticky Figures Collins if I'm on that squad because I'm not gonna take everything. I'm not greedy like that, but there might be like a few stacks that are a little.
But that's why we ain't cops, man. That's why we ain't cops.
Yeah.
That's why we ain't narcotic fucking officers and shit like that. Because we way too black for that shit.
And so Matt Damon is Lieutenant Dane Dumars, and he recently suffered a tragic loss. He lost his child, and so he's
hold
been,
on.
more,
Before we
yeah.
go too far, you put in the chat, how much would your life change for a handful of money that they were counting?
Oh, I
So-
mean,
So let's say,
Yeah.
you just were able to just take off. So now the stacks that they had,
one
let's
barrel was
say-
like 1.5 mil.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you were able to grab a stack and it had like 150 million in there. I mean, I'm sorry, 150,000 in there. 150,000.
Uh-huh.
That's some good ass money, nigga.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Debt
quite a
free
few
is the
years of my
place to be.
mortgage.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's tax free.
Yeah. So here's the thing. And I think this is the thing that's hard if somebody comes into a large sum of money, because all right, so there was, I don't know if you ever heard it, like there were stories of like people's come across like drug money and things like that, and then they turned it in instead of keeping it. My black ass is keeping it. That's a blessing.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I ain't turning down a blessing. But with that being said, you also have to have the wherewithal not to do nigga shit with that money. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
gotta not do nigga shit. You can't go buy a fancy car. You can't just walking around with alligator shoes.
You
All right.
can't Goodfellas it because then niggas start getting killed.
Yeah. Then people was like, where does nigga get all this fucking money from? You know what I'm saying? So like that, and that's the hard part. So like you have to somehow still live within your means.
Yep. And not raise too many
with this
flags.
money, and then slowly start to integrate it into your life.
Yeah, you can't roof man this shit. There's a reason why people were like, nigga, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
how do you have this house? Like, you live in a different lifestyle now. Like a few years ago, you were struggling. You know?
You were literally living in a shoebox.
Yeah. So, folks, if I start owning a bunch of property in Puerto Rico, LA, and stuff like that, Brandon's into some shady shit. Because just a year ago, Justin and I were in parks giving away dog treats. So
Yep.
that's a huge come up.
Yeah, the huge.
And this is why y'all should subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/media popcorn. Support the podcast, support us. And also there's a lot of goodies over there. So, help
Yeah, so
yourself.
we don't have to, be searching around parks for black bags packed full of stacks.
Apparently, there's a bunch of people still in Colombia that occasionally like will go out, like and just try to dig up like weird, like Pablo
Yeah.
Escobar was known to like frequent or stuff like that to try to find like because apparently he just planted money all around the fucking country.
Yeah. So
He had
apparently,
that
a
much money.
farmer recently found something. Apparently, and he's like, and he turned it in. I was like, nigga, not me.
I mean, I guess like because that country specifically is really trying to get away from that legacy. I guess it's like I don't want to have this blood money on my hands, literally. But yeah, man.
Nigga, I wouldn't have that money, that blood money in my hands. I'd be having it in my bank account. That's the difference. if you write down at the car dealership.
Jesus. Getting the fucking Lexus. Daddy, only 2 people can fit in this Lexus. I know.
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
Get in the minivan, Jackson.
Yeah. Just,
Get in the minivan with your mama.
Just when everyone starts to notice that my house goes under construction like that, and it turns into a palace, that's how you know. That's how you know.
Yeah, either they came with some money or like Justin started dealing drugs, which we already thought he did in this neighborhood.
Yep.
So Matt Damon, like I said, is the murder Jackie Velez's second in command. He says that he tells his team that he received a tip about a rip in Halia or whatever. But before that, they're all being investigated by internal affairs. It's revealed that Ben Affleck's character, I believe his name is JD, right? That he was he had a relationship with Jackie Velez. They were at a romantic relationship. They were intimate, and stuff. And then the guy interrogating him starts kind of like popping off, and Ben Affleck starts beating the shit out of him. Then it's revealed that that's his brother, and I'm like, even regardless, you can't just be beating the shit out of your brother who's in internal affairs. Like you can't.
Nobody hates like family.
That's insane. Also, did you ever fight your siblings like that? Like,
yes.
Like, do you really? You get into physical fights with your siblings?
Yeah. My brother kicked me in the chest one time. I was sitting on a chair. He fucking literally kicked me in the fucking chest, and we were brawling. But then also, like, we used to train, my brothers trained as well. So like, yeah, we used to get our aggression on each other. We used to beat the shit out of each other. Well, our trainer would be like, yo, do you guys like each other?
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you come back from that as like brothers? Like, because I feel like if you beat the shit out of your brother, right? Like to the point where like they're bleeding and all fucked up and like probably bruised, like, how do y'all like continue like go like meet up at Thanksgiving dinner and like Christmas dinner and be like, oh, buddy, I love you
because we're brothers. We're brothers. Because well, you also got to like we've been playing rough and just like scrapping a little bit all our lives. You know what I'm saying? So like it getting turned up, that's gonna happen because like when you're that close to somebody, is like it's more. It's more likely to happen, and it's not going to affect your full-on relationship. Now, if I go fisticuffs with like a friend, it's just like, nah, nigga, I shouldn't be fighting you like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's hard to come back from because, like, brother, brother, if we fight, we shed blood. That's our blood. That's shared blood. This other nigga, no.
UV, our producer, said in the chat, Malcolm in the Middle shows that all the time. Yeah, and then you know what? Spoiler alert, everybody, on that fucking reboot, Malcolm is so traumatized from the shit he went through with his family. He like hasn't seen them apparently like in 20 something, like like over 10 years or some shit. And he has a secret kid that no one knows about. Like it's fucking crazy. And when they all find out and go to his house, he runs away. I don't know why so many people were giving like it shit. Like I actually enjoyed it. It's like if you like the original Malcolm in the Middle, it's kind of the same vibe.
I haven't
still
watched
fucking crazy. The brothers are insane. You know what I mean? It is kind of awkward though, because the oldest brother is the brother of the dude from Madsen from that 70s show who got like locked up for all that sexual assault stuff. Yeah, that's the brother. Danny Madison or something like that. His younger brother is the guy on Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, okay.
So
is
that's
the
why
kid
he
who
didn't
played Dewey in there? Is Dewey still crazy?
Dewey's not really in it because they also recast. That's the only person they recasted. The younger brother, they recasted him, yeah. And obviously the younger sister, she's older now, so they got a new actress for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the younger brother's the only one that's new. But Reese is still there. He's fucking nuts. Reese should not be like out of jail. Like Reese should Reese should either be in jail or in like an asylum. He's insane. I forgot how crazy he was until this reboot. I was like, oh yeah, he's the really crazy brother that was like always doing pranks and weird shit. He's the cult of the family. That's for our Three Ninjas fans right there.
God.
Okay. Anyways,
three strands of rope.
So here's what was interesting. It's like because the way that Matt Damon plays Dane, you're kind of like, all right, so is he the shady one? Because he when everyone's asking what the crime tip was about like how much the rip is, he's telling everyone different numbers. So he tells Stephen Yeun it's $150. He tells Tiana Taylor, I think, $250. He tells Ben Affleck it's $300. And he tells Catalina that it's $75. So it's all over the place, right? And then they go to this house that's being lived in by Desi Molina, who is the granddaughter of the homeowner who died recently, and she's in probate with her sister. So she's like, I'm supposed to just watch this house. Like, that's what I've been tasked with. I don't know what's in the house, why you guys are here. And they have a money dog who's going crazy. And so Catalina Marino's character is like, how much money you say is in here? He's like, oh, 75. And she's like, he's going crazy. Like, he's about to piss all over his house. This is way more than 75. I can tell you that. And she ends up being right because they discover $20 million in a pristine attic space, which is hilarious because they're like, why is your attic so nice compared to the house? The house is a landfill except for this space. And she's like, and Desi's like, I don't know. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to start breaking down this wall. So.
And sure enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where I was like, the writing sometimes is so on the nose where I was like, I kind of like, Taylor Sheridan, he has this like, he's also very blunt as well, but I think he can show restraint, especially in like feature films like Sicario and like Hell or High Water, Wind River and stuff. And I was like, man, I really wish we had like some like Taylor Sheridan like constraint because, Joe Carrion has a scene where Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are talking to Desi. And this is, again, Sasha Calle, not the best. And she's like asking them about their tattoos. She's like, oh, what is it, your tattoos? And just like, are we the good guys? And she's like, you have to ask yourself that. And she's like, so what's the other tattoo? And he's like, we are, always will be, or something like that. And she's like, oh. And I was just like, fuck you. I was like, fuck you. Because that's kind of a crazy job. Like, it's admirable, but like, dude, like raiding money and like actually filing it all, not being corrupt and taking it. Like, the temptation is so crazy. And they're all talking about how they don't get overtime. They're not like able to pay their bills and shit. Yeah. Like, everyone's strapped. It's like, yeah, man. Like, when those cops pull up, the local cops pull up, it's like, yeah, they're clearly in cahoots with the cartel because everyone needs some money.
They're making less money than y'all and them motherfuckers are.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that guy was a fucking... that cop should have been way more chill. Like, when those cops pulled up, they were so, like, ramped up. And then when he was like, Matt Damon's like, can you turn off your lights? And the guy just stares at him for, like, a good 5 seconds before finally relenting and turning it off. I'm like, yeah, nigga. Like, you lucky.
It's like, y'all you're not even going to act. You're not even going to act like you're not dirty.
Because it's also revealed that...
be yourself.
What happened?
I said, I respect it, though. Be yourself,
I guess. I mean, in Miami, they are assholes. So, the cops, I mean.
Well, yeah. Wait, was this set in Miami?
Miami-Dade, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is Miami. Sorry.
Yeah, man. That cul-de-sac, that's very Miami right there.
No, because it could have very well been Los Angeles as well.
Yeah, maybe.
They have very similar, kind of structures that they do.
So when they discovered that it's over like $20 million in drug cartel cash that's hidden in the attic, Dane basically he tells everyone like, give me your cell phones. He's like, we got to count the money manually. And then, UV said it was set in Miami, but was shot in LA. Okay. That makes sense.
See, there you go.
And they were probably able to film pretty quickly too, because everyone's local to LA. And then that's when like the cops show up, the local cops show up. And this is after like Stephen Yeun asked, hey, should we let the local law enforcement know? And Matt Damon's like, no, because this apparently was all set up by Velez, but she was killed before she could put this play in motion. So to correct the thing you said earlier, actually I have to do two corrections. One is Ben Affleck's brother's part of the FBI, not internal affairs. And two, this was so Kyle Chandler and Stephen Yeun, who we learn are like the rats and like the turncoats, they don't know about this house. They just have been ripping off rips, like, you know, on the side and shit like that. And for this, that's why they think it's only $150. When they call about, they tell them just to take that 150 and shit. And it's because Matt Damon like gave him that number. So when it's revealed what his plan was, it makes sense. I think it was like and he was like, I needed like, you know, he needed JD to believe that he might be shady and stuff. Like he needed everyone to be like fully bought in on like, you know, you can't trust me, you can't trust each other and stuff like that, to weed out who the turncoat is. And like basically Ben Affleck kind of gave him the idea at the beginning. He's like, we need to just fucking throw some chum in the water and see what floats up. You know, and that's basically what happens. And so all hell breaks loose basically after the cops. And by the way, the way those cops peeled off would have maybe be like, I mean, they were like, we gotta strap up. We gotta vest up.
Yeah.
Once those cops left, they were like, yeah, we're about to get into some shit. And I was like, damn, like, how do you get yourself ready for that?
Well, man, you know what? It's funny because, like, I guess the only way that I guess a normal person could think about it is like, all right, so you're in a situation where there may be a fight breaking out, right? And you're just like, all right, well, like we gotta be getting prepared for a fight, but then now you're adding guns. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so like that's a whole different ball game of like trouble and problems. And like Juvia said in the chat, and apparently they're used to it. So like there's a point where basically they understand that there are so many crooked cops that like you can't trust anybody. To quote the immortal Stone Cold Steve Austin, DTA, don't trust anyone.
All right. Yeah, that was a wild
Stone Cold.
Yeah, so they then get a mysterious call telling them that they need to leave, just take the $150K and get out the house. And then like JD and Dane start getting a fight because he's like, JD is basically like, you're telling everyone different amounts for what you were tipped off. Like, what the fuck is going on? And Dane's not, I mean, the way Matt Damon plays it, it's like, hey, if I am the bad guy, I'm doing a terrible job covering myself.
Yeah.
Because he's just acting so vague and shady. And he's got that beard that he was growing out for the Odyssey. So he looks even more fucking shady. It's like, take care of yourself, man. You look crazy.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Mel Gibson would have actually looked in Lethal Weapon. You know what I'm saying? Living in that trailer. Like that's what Mel Gibson would really look like. He would look like this fucking, you know, puffed up hair, clean shaven guy. He'd look like Matt Damon.
Lethal Weapon, man. Why the fuck did Mel Gibson have to end up being one of the biggest pieces of shit?
Aren't they making another one?
There's no way they're making a 5. Danny Glover can't even see, bro. Like, there's no way they can make a 5th one. Joe Pesci can't hear or see. Like, they're so fucking old, bro.
It could literally just be the fact that Lethal Weapon, he's officially too old for this shit.
Yeah, and that's not funny. We're not going. I mean, in the fourth one came out when I was in high school.
Yeah,
right.
But that was the best one with fucking Jet Li. Jet Li was fucking them up.
I think we reviewed it. I think it's on our Patreon. I think we reviewed that one because I think we talked that nauseum about how Jet Li just wrecked shop on these 2 old niggas.
We should do that whole series. We should do the Lethal Weapon series.
We should.
Yeah, that needs to be on the Uvia. Put it on the list.
We definitely need to review them because I remember really liking the first one. Second one was okay. Third one I enjoyed because that's when Joe Pesci joins, I think, and then fourth one was fine, even though Chris Rock is a bit annoying in it. But Jet Li fucking that final fight when he's just wrecking shop with these guys because I like seeing our heroes get beat up. That's another thing to your point earlier is that in regards to stakes, I never really worried about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon making it out. You know what I mean? Especially once we got to the third act, I was like, well, they know who's running this now, so they're kind of prepared to be ready to like just fucking go all out, like fighting for their survival and to take these guys out. So I never felt like they were at risk of getting killed. I thought like maybe Tiana Taylor or Catalina might become collateral damage, get killed.
Well, Catalina caught a bullet in the leg.
Yeah,
Well,
but
bullet in the
she
thigh.
survived though. You know,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
That juicy ass thigh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've had a
Yeah, I
crush on
put
her
a hole
since
in her too.
Maria Full of Grace. She's such a beautiful actress. And she's a great actress too. I'm sorry. So Matt Damon does a lot of things where he's just planting seeds to see who ends up being the informant. And so basically every trap he sets for Stephen Yoon's character, that guy falls right into it. So
Yeah.
it's the 150 drop tip. It's when he's pretending to try to get Tiana Taylor and Catalina to like rip off the rip, which is such a weird phrase. That Catalina that Desi overhears it and then tells Stephen Yoon's character because she trusts him because he's like the likable guy. Stephen Yoon's a very
Yeah.
likable dude, right? And so
that would be me and stealing money.
Mhm. Use that like I mean it's weird because he's so likable and trusting that they know he has a burner phone and they still kind of let him get away with it until
Yeah.
like he shows himself, right? And so because Desi tells Stephen Yoon's detective Mike Rowe character about like what they're planning, then that's when he gets Kyle Chandler to make that phone call to tell him like to get the fuck out
Yeah.
and stuff. Because he thinks that they're just trying to rip off a little bit. Like so it got really convoluted. And then there's a huge shootout with the cartel and stuff like that with the lookout. And it's crazy the cartel is like, we actually are willing to abandon the money. And
Yeah.
we didn't kill that cop. They're like, we didn't kill that cop. Just putting that out there. We didn't kill the cop. Take the money. We're all good.
Well, I guess also the fact is like they talked to the cartel's leader. He's just like, listen, that wasn't us. We had nothing to do with that. Because also, I guess as a cartel, they know what it means to kill like a federal, agent or something. Like, oh wait, are they federal agents or are they?
Yeah, I mean, they're part
No.
law enforcement though.
No, yeah, but they're
high-ranking.
just with the police department. They're not with a federal bureau because that would be like the DEA or I forgot the other acronym for the narcotics and unit. No.
Yeah, because Kyle
Either
Chandler
way.
and them, they're DEA. They're DEA.
Yeah.
So those are the bad motherfuckers. But that's also like, so were they pretending to be cartel when they shoot up the house?
I think so.
Okay, got it. Because the cartel dudes like take the money. Like, I don't want this smoke. Literally. Like, just we'll take the L, which is crazy to just take a $20 million hit, but that's how much money the fucking cartel is making. Are they still making that kind of money? With like the legalization of marijuana? I mean of cannabis becoming more prominent?
Yeah.
I gotta stop saying marijuana. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's like from like narcotics, right? From like cocaine
Yeah, like
and stuff like
fentanyl,
that. Heroin.
fucking heroin and all that other shit that's still out
People are
there.
using it that much? That's crazy.
Bro, no, people are using it here.
I know.
Yeah.
How
Like
rampant is
there's
drug
also
use like that?
Pacific Northwest that we have to deal with. Like basically the West Coast, especially like Pacific Northwest, then you're coming down into like Arizona, New Mexico, stuff like that. Those are heavy usage areas for like those heavy drugs. And then like fentanyl, they're lacing that shit, they're lacing everything with that
yeah.
shit. It's like, it's
That's
big
dangerous.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, that fentanyl is bad news.
A little bit goes a long way to your grave, nigga.
And it's like very addictive, right?
No, it's just a fentanyl is basically
I'm
that
talking
thing.
about heroin. And like
Yeah,
cocaine and
but
stuff,
like fentanyl will get you very high.
Yeah.
And like the high that you get from it is just like, so if they are cutting like everything else and put a little fentanyl in there, that fentanyl still gives you that oomph, but too much fentanyl can be just a very, very small amount and it can easily kill you. The high just goes to you just straight up being dead. So like, yeah.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
So okay, so the house gets shot up. Like you said, Catalina Moreno's character, she gets wounded, she gets shot, and Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Stephen Yeun, they seemingly chase off the gunmen, and then JD goes to where the cartel lookout was at a neighboring house, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when they have the contact with like the cartel and stuff like that. And then that's when finally Matt Damon reveals to Jay, like to Ben Affleck's character, like what's really happening. But we get
Yeah.
that through like the flashbacks when they finally, the DEA shows up. Kyle Chandler's character shows up with in a big truck, and they load the money bags into an armored vehicle and they drive off. And so in the back, it's Kyle Chandler, Stephen Yeun, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. And that's when we start getting the whole exposition of how this all unraveled. And it's just like, it's fine, but I just feel like there's such a better way to reveal this twist and reveal like how they set up Stephen Yeun. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt flat. It was weird. It's like you got 4 great actors, and like this scene is like forcing the attention through sound effects and the lighting with like the way that they're passing through street lights and stuff like that in armor car, but it all feels manufactured. It doesn't feel genuine. You know, that's how I
Yeah, I
felt.
mean, there were parts of this movie which really did feel like, oh, like this had $100 million budget, but it didn't feel like $100 million budget film.
That went to the
It really,
cast. That had to go to most of the
yeah.
Matt and Ben for sure.
Well, I mean, because there wasn't many locations,
Yeah,
and it was pretty dimly lit, which is not necessarily easy.
but they might
But
use
like,
natural lighting for all we know, which
no,
cuts
no,
down
no,
on
no.
costs.
But a lot of it was at night, so it was very it was pretty dark.
Yeah.
So like
That's what I
I
meant.
just
Like
don't.
they use natural darkness and stuff like that
Yeah.
to get the full Miami skyline feel or some shit.
So I guess when it comes down to like with post production and then like what they actually did with the film, there really wasn't much that they spent the movie on. So I think you're right. A lot of it had to have gone to the cast.
Yeah, and even the action scenes weren't like in Joe Carnahan has done like some interesting action films. He's done Narc, he did Smoking Aces, the A Team remake, he did the movie The Gray. He's done some episodes of The Blacklist, that NBC show with James Spader. So he knows how to do action and crime, but this just felt so, I don't know, it just felt so generic. Like I thought with this cast and like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon being like, we want to make this movie together, that there would have been something really unique about it. Because again, to the rewatchability about it, it's kind of like a generic crime movie. Like when I was rewatching, I was like, oh yeah, like it's not very memorable after you're done with it.
Yeah.
And then the third act fight scenes between Kyle Chandler, Ben Affleck, and then Stephen Yeun and Matt Damon are just like, they were so boring and they went on far too long. This movie is an hour and like 53 minutes. And that last fight scene between these two different factions is like at least 12 to 15 minutes, I think. A 12 to 15 minute sequence. It was a lot.
Well, I mean, if you add in the chase scenes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't feel redundant to you, like that whole third
Well,
act?
I don't think the third act really felt that much redundant to me. I think it's just overall the movie didn't have enough action in it.
Yeah.
And I think that so because it was mostly talking throughout most of the film, and it was just like trying to build tension. I think the tension didn't necessarily pay off enough with the final action sequences that happened. Especially they got split off and all that. Ben Affleck's fight, that was a car chase turned into an accident, and then he killed the guy. He basically executed him. And then Matt Damon and the other dude, they're fighting, but you didn't really see it. So it almost, I would even say it felt more rushed than anything. I don't think it was redundant. I think it came off as rushed and lazy.
Mm. Yeah, and Yuvia reminded me about to go to the Netflix notes of everything. So a few trivia points. So Matt Damon noted that Netflix feedback suggesting key plot points needed repeated reinforcement throughout the movies due to audiences frequently multitasking or using their phones while watching. And that's
You
why
know how I
movie
feel
going
about
so
that.
bad. So many people with their fucking phones out, not paying attention, then asking the person next to them, "Oh, what just happened?" Blah 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 blah. It's like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, just pay attention.
Yeah. So
Um,
watch the fucking movie.
yeah. Apparently, this story is based off, specifically Matt Damon's character Dane Dumars. His backstory, including grief over losing his young son, is inspired by real life Miami police captain Chris Cassiano. The film was dedicated to Cassiano's son, Jake William Cassiano, who died of leukemia in 2021, and it was inspired by his real investigation work, including discovering large sums of hidden cash, reportedly 24 million in a wall, which helped shape the story's premise. 24 million in a wall.
Mm.
Are y'all sure it's not 20?
Yeah. Listen.
We found
Listen.
20
You
mil.
can't.
Who's going to question that?
You should. They may have only found fucking $15,000 in that wall. Fucking around with me.
Like, for real, like, I would just be like, yo, take 2 of these barrels, put them in the sewer, and we'll report everything else. I'll come back this weekend and get this shit from the sewer. Then we
Split it up, baby.
Yeah.
Throw it in the bag.
Like, you really don't. Come on, man. Come on, man. You really, if you have all those stacks of cash, and you really are financially strapped and this is your job, but you're financially strapped. You're maybe like stressing out about how we're going to pay rent or the mortgage, or my kids have health needs and stuff like that. You're really not going to take at least a brick, like just 10 G's.
So let me put it like this. So, like how I've, done these like, trips and things like that. Right.
Yeah.
And like, I put them together. So a lot of this stuff is like, they're like, hey, if you pay in cash, you don't have to pay the taxes, the VAT taxes in, the other country or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm traveling internationally with stacks on me. And now there are very strict rules about traveling, overseas with, large amounts of cash on you. So, and it's not a thing where I'm going to go to this country and then go to the bank and pull out fucking $10,000 US. Because a lot of them don't have it. And, it's just not, yeah, just shine a light on me. Right. So basically what I have to do is I have to fucking go around to the other people that are going on this trip, and I have to drop cash to them. And it's like, hey, I need you to put, get like I have a small lockbox, had everybody get these lockboxes, put the cash in the lockbox and travel with it, because anything over $10,000, they can stop you and they can confiscate the money, because it's just like making sure you're not there to buy drugs or, sex trafficking and things like that. And what I hear is that they can hold up your money for however long they want to. So imagine I went down there and this happened to me, and it's like, oh, I've got a house, I got all this stuff like that. Oh, but I can't pay for it because the man at the fucking in security, well, at the border patrol or whatever, he says like, I don't know what the fuck you doing here. And I'm black, so
yeah,
is so who are they gonna fuck with? So like, bro, like there's so many precautions that come in, but then there's also things where people get, police officers, other countries, and here they confiscate cash for whatever reason, and then that cash just doesn't show up, and they're just like, what cash? Because how do you have a paper trail for cash? You know what I'm saying? Most people don't. So
what would you rather stumble upon, cash or gold?
Cash.
Okay.
I mean, because I guess
I feel like gold's less traceable. You know what I mean?
No, gold is very traceable because you're gonna have to sell it. You're gonna have to offload that to somebody.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
offload to rich motherfuckers.
If you keep gold, in its gold form, whatever, especially right now, gold is going through the fucking roof right now. So like actually, so if you get gold, the gold's gonna appreciate in value over time, where cash is more of a depreciating asset at this point with our economy fucking flopping. So like you're probably better with gold, but if you want to use it, you want cash.
You have to get cash. What was the movie where like it was the highest? It reminded me of how heavy gold actually is, because these dudes are trying to carry the gold and it was like duffel bags. Fuck. There's like a funny heist movie.
Was it Tower Heist?
It might have been.
Or Eddie
There's a
Murphy?
movie definitely where they
and-
talked about how heavy fucking gold is, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Heat because Heat was cash.
Yeah, he was cash.
He
for
was
sure.
cash in those duffel bags because that's why Val Kilmer's character, he's the only one that gets away with money.
Yeah.
Not that much of it, not enough to do what he was trying to do. But anyways, so this movie was a huge hit for Netflix, 41.6 million views in the first 3 days. It became one of Netflix's biggest film debuts since Happy Gilmore 2, racking up over 104 million views within 24 days. So Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, their promotion tour worked really well. And also like, problematic interviews and comments aside, they do have a great friendship that a lot of people root for, that a lot of people appreciate. I think their chemistry is great. They have one of my favorite awards moments, and not the one like when they won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, which was a great Oscar moment. Like these young guys. Did you ever hear Matt Damon talk about how they were able to rent a house because they were like on the cover of a magazine, even though they didn't really have any money? Like they were able to rent a house in LA. Yeah, like they had a cover. Like they're like, oh, we're in this movie, but like they were broke and shit. Ben Affleck talks about it too. Like Ben Affleck's done some really good interviews and promotion for this
Yeah.
movie. But they did banter at the Oscars right after Jimmy Kimmel went on, and Jimmy Kimmel has that fun beef with Matt Damon,
Yeah.
and he was talking. Jimmy Kimmel did a montage where he talked about movies that he loved and like performances he loved, and then at the end of the montage, it ended with we bought a zoo, that terrible Matt Damon movie,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
Matt Damon, he does so little. And he gets so much praise. Like he's just ripping him, right? And then Matt Damon and Ben Affleck come out, and Matt Damon's like, man, I kind of like that movie. I kind of liked what I did in that movie. Ben Affleck's like, really? And I was like, yo, that's how good. Because I'm sure they shit on each other about their performances.
Oh,
you know what I
of
mean?
course.
It's like
Yeah,
you and I, when we talked about our movies, we're like, oh yeah, that was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, man.
I mean, some of the things that you've done.
That we both done because you had the Saw porn movie, and I had the
Nigga, yours are
Green
worse than
where
mine.
Nigga.
Yours are worse than mine.
Okay.
Yours are worse than mine. I mean, listen, a fucking what was that? Early Grave was really bad, but
Yeah.
yours are worse than mine. But yours are a little more low budget, so like
Yeah.
you have that that's a cop
It
out.
was a
You got
student
there.
film, basically.
Yeah, me. Well, I mean, listen, it wasn't my film. I didn't write that shit. I was just in it. I took the money and ran with it.
Just like they do in the Rip. Justin, we had some letterbox reviews for the Rip.
Yeah, man, we got some letterbox reviews. Come on,
What you
now,
got?
nigga.
What
You
you
know what
got?
this is about. All right, up first, we got George Carmi. George says, by streaming dad movie standards, this might be the GOAT. 3 stars. I don't know why they call this a dad movie, but okay. Fuck y'all niggas out here.
I mean, it's a lot of shoot 'em up, like guns and like crazy shit.
But it's not.
and stuff.
It's not. It's a whole lot of sitting around and waiting. It's more exposition than shooting, honestly.
That's true. Yeah.
Up next, we have the notorious JAC, notorious Jack, if you will. Matt Damon is the reason Ben Affleck can't stay loyal to J-Lo. Okay, 3.5 stars. I don't know why he's blamed that on fucking Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, on Matt
J-Lo
Dillon.
just stay getting fucking strays.
Yeah, damn.
She's over here trying to look great at 56, and everyone's just shitting on her all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, up next, we have D. Lamb. D. Lamb says, I like how these 2 Miami cops have Boston accents. 3.5 stars.
Yes. And
All
this
right,
is like them like taming it down too, because if you like watch Good Will Hunting, that's their authentic Boston accent.
Yeah.
And that shit is thick. Like them and Mark Wahlberg, when they get like they go full Boston, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, they sound fucking nuts. They sound like they're punch drunk from a bar fight.
Yeah.
All right, up next
Christian
we
Bale
have
does a really good Boston accent, by the way, and The Fighter. Like,
Oh,
he was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
They said like he like convinced people that he was like authentic from Southie or some shit. Like
It's just
he's from fucking
nuts.
Wales. It's insane.
All right, up next we have Joel. Joel says the multiverse has gotten out of control. We got Green Lantern, Supergirl, Daredevil, Loki, and Invincible in one movie. 3 stars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Matt Damon did have that cameo as playing Loki in that play, right? That was actually a great cameo in Thor.
Oh
Ragnarok.
yeah, yeah.
That was a
It
good
was.
cameo. That was funny.
Who's
I
Invincible
still
though?
Steven Yeun. He does the voice of Mark.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
yeah. Which, folks, if you haven't been watching Invincible, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. This last season, except for the Hell episode, is fantastic. Like Thrag has quickly become one of my favorite villains like ever because I love a villain that's so fucking powerful. Like everyone shook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so rare you get that, especially when you have someone who's like Superman, basically. Like that's fucking awesome. And he's also so like cold and shit.
Mm.
Yeah, I love it. I love that show. Yeah. Anyways,
right.
yeah. So
Up
Steven
next-
Yeun does the voice of Mark. Sasha Callie, obviously she's not back as Supergirl because they recasted that for James Gunn's DC, which sucks because I'm sure her people are like, "Oh, you're gonna be caking. They're gonna make a Supergirl movie. You're gonna do all this stuff," and it's like that was a one and done thing.
Yeah, hey, we win some, you lose some. Yeah.
I was just thinking the other day though, thinking about Loki and stuff. About are we ever going to find out what Thor was crying about from Deadpool and Wolverine?
What do you mean?
I was thinking that's a really funny Easter egg that they might be able to answer. Like, because remember in Deadpool and Wolverine when he's looking at the different like timelines and shit, and there's one where like Thor is crying and like as he's like in Deadpool's arms, and Deadpool like keeps asking like, "What was Thor crying about?" Anyways,
Probably
all right.
not. Probably
You
not.
don't remember.
Probably not.
Is there any more letterbox reviews?
Yeah. So we got Kath. Kath says, it's so funny the way there's a scene in this movie where they try to convince us that Ben Affleck is thinking of a woman when his present company is Matt Damon. 4 stars. Okay. And the last one.
I will say real quick to being in the audience when like, because UV and I were at the top of like the Paramount. So we were able to look over and like look into the audience. Dude, they like were constantly laughing and smiling with each other and shit. Like they are, yeah, they're best friends. Like, but they're like also, you wouldn't be surprised if it was like, hey, secretly Matt and Ben have been together for a while.
They crossing the streams.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. And last one we have is from Kylo. Kylo writes, I wouldn't be doing any of that without serious overtime, and that police dog definitely did not sign up for this. 4 stars.
I agree. This was not an overtime. They weren't getting paid for this job, and they spent a lot of time. They spent all night at this fucking house.
Yeah.
Breaking down that wall like took forever, which again, that scene should have been fucking awesome between them interrogating Desi. You hear the banging, the dust coming down stuff. That should have been way more tense and like effective. And it was just like Sasha Callie just couldn't bring that authentic intensity.
Here's the thing now, if they were technically off the clock for this, is that bullet hole in her leg going to be covered by insurance?
Ooh. I mean, I guess with the whole DEA corruption and stuff like that, they'll probably just cover it up and like fucking take care of whatever hell just to get, to.
I know, but that's
a good question.
It could cause some issues.
Yeah, because
they're
like, you
off
went
the
into line
clock
of duty without authorization. Like, yeah, that could be, yeah. But
these are the questions, baby.
Yeah,
so that's all I got as far as letterboxes.
Okay, I mean that is a good question. What if Sasha Callie? I know like she's significantly older. That role should have been played by like a Michelle Rodriguez or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Michelle Rodriguez is like she's got one note.
Yeah, but it would have worked in this role. I think the grizzled, like I'm over this shit and I do what I have to do. Like Sasha Callie, like reminds me of a Valley girl who's like trying to act tough.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So having said that, Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
First of all, stop calling me baby. Guys, you guys know how this works. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any hot, buttery, delicious popcorn, we throw it into the stale popcorn pot. We pile piles and piles of stale popcorn on the top of it. So, Brandon, we sat down and we watched this movie, and it's called The Rip, 2026 movie, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and a bunch of other motherfuckers. That some of them we like, some of them we don't. One of them being Kyle Chandler. We all love Kyle Chandler. What say you, sir?
Did you say Chow Candler?
What?
Nothing. All right. Anyways, you know you did, nigga. I'm giving this a small. With this cast, this should have been way better. This should be like a crime classic, like a new classic, given like the star power behind it and the creative team. And it feels like a big budget Netflix crime thriller. It doesn't feel like an original, like cool crime thriller that just ended up on Netflix. You know what I mean? It felt like it was
Yeah.
dumbed down and simplified for the Netflix audience. And I think that that's one of the reasons why so many people were uncomfortable with the idea of Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. Now we realize it's probably the lesser of two evils. But like Netflix doesn't, besides a few shows, and like these are a lot of them are good done. A lot of them ended. Netflix hasn't put on anything really like high quality that's like awesome that they originally made. K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters, they acquired that from Sony. A lot of their
Yeah.
hits they acquire from other people. They don't make in-house. Their docu-series and stuff like that usually do pretty well. But again, some of that's still acquired, you know, and so I think it just sucks. It just sucks. It feels like they Netflixify whatever gritty idea this probably was going to have. Um, it's a lot quieter than you would think it would be, which allows for some good acting from Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, but not necessarily other people to shine, especially the female characters. I think they're
Yeah.
let down a lot by the script. Justin, what's your rating?
You know, it's interesting because like I was just mentioning to Paula how much YouTube content is now on Netflix. Like
Mm,
YouTube creators who who
yeah.
basically they just copy their YouTube content and they now have it on a Netflix platform. And I was just like, okay, these people are obviously cashing out with making these deals, but like, yeah, Netflix seems to just be, you know, I know they want to be their own studio and doing their own thing, but they are kind of also just becoming more of a hub just for anything, that's out there, anything that's popular, which is just kind of sad,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think I'm going to give this a small as well. I think the first time I watched it, I'm like, okay, that was cool. But then, like, upon rewatching it, like, the problems with this are glaring. The problem and the fact is how slow it is. And it's just, not a lot happens, and it's mostly exposition. And like you said, like, yeah, you get some decent performances, but it's only allowing Affleck and fucking Damon to really shine in here. Everybody else is just like they have these quick scenes, and much like the fight scenes, they just kind of felt empty.
And doesn't it feel like the cast knows it? Like this is the Matt and Ben show. We're
Yeah,
just here. And I feel like that's why no one really has any like urgency or like you like it just everyone felt flat except for those two. And I was like, is that just like the aura on set? Is it just that people capitulated to them? Like, I'm just very curious, like what that's like, because maybe they are like so overwhelming together, like that people they maybe don't even realize it, especially when they're like acting together on set.
yeah,
Because the last movie they did together was Air. Ben Affleck directed that, so it's already like a different level of like chemistry and stuff. So I'm curious because like Ethan Hawke has talked about, and other actors too have talked about working with Denzel, right? They're like when you
mm,
work with Denzel, very specific kind of energy. He's very deliberate, like doesn't suffer any fool. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's specific ways that you work with some actors.
mm.
And I wonder if Ben, Matt, just maybe, and I'm just speculating, folks. I don't have any like intel or anything, but I'm just curious, like, you know what I mean? Because it was weird seeing Steven Yeun and Kyle Chandler and Tiana Taylor like like not monotone, but they were low energy. Like it was weird.
Yeah, yeah,
It was really bizarre at
yeah.
times.
And I think low end energy is like the best way to
Yeah.
describe it.
Like everyone
This
was
whole movie
tired.
kind of felt that way a little bit, and
Yeah.
even into points where it seemed to be like, oh yeah, something's going on. It just seemed to be like a little bit subpar.
Mm, yeah. Well, folks, that's our review on The Rip. As always, you can
Hmm.
follow Medium Popcorn and Medium P Podcast, all social media
That's
platforms,
right.
mediumpopcorn.com for all your Medium Popcorn needs, including the link for our Patreon, YouTube, all that good stuff. And if you want to follow me personally, you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Instagram and Threads, FrodoBlackens.com for show dates. I got stand-up shows and Drunk Black History shows, especially in June, popping up all over the country. So fuck with me, come laugh, learn, and drink with me. FrodoBlackens.com for those tickets. And Justin, how can people follow you personally as well as support the show financially if they choose to do so, my brother?
Guys, you can follow me at Jay Brown Did It on all the social media platforms. But you can follow this show, support this show, show us a little love on Patreon. Patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages. Our entire backlog lives on Patreon. We have bonus episodes. We have bonus shows. We got stuff on there, guys. You need to be on Patreon. And again, patreon.com/medium popcorn.
And support the show, folks. If money's tight, just leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Let us know what you think about the show. It helps with the visibility of everything. And also shout out to Edgar, who consistently posts on our Spotify. Like sometimes he can be a little cranky, but he's always engaging. And so I just want to shout out Edgar on Spotify over there. But folks, we will talk to y'all next week. And until then,
yo, yay. I don't know what's going on, but there's people dying all over the place.
goodbye, sweet princess.
Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.